So I've suffered another drive failure in my primary TrueNAS box, and since I'm running what is kind of an unsupported config, I thought I'd make a video on how I troubleshoot and find the drive that's failed. I'm running this in a custom build computer with a Dell Perc H310 RAID controller running the standard Dell RAID firmware. Since this isn't a supported configuration, the web interface is incapable of pulling drive information correctly. So it knows that a drive is bad, but it won't tell me which one, let alone the serial numbers. So the first thing you'll have to do to troubleshoot this will be to go to your services and enable login as root with password under SSH. From there, you can open a SSH session in PuTTY and then log into your box. And then the first command that I'll be using will be zpool status. And what this will do is this will tell me the condition of the drives. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you enough information to determine what drive has failed, at least for common folk. I'm not super tech savvy in this stuff yet, so I don't know how to identify what this GPTID information means. But to kind of help identify further, there's another command you can use, which is glabel status. So then I can compare the GPTID and look at the list and then find out what is labeled as under components. And then from there, I will use the command smartctl --scan. So with the results that you get from glabel status, the components list is the drives, and then this first number will correspond with the number that ends in pass. So the drive that's failed is this MFI sys PD3P2, and the 3 is the drive number. So in this case, dev pass 3 is the drive that has failed. And to verify that, you can use the smartctl command with some variables here. Select your drive. And since this drive has failed, it takes a little bit longer for it to pull the results than it normally would. I'm going to scroll back up to where I started the command. Here we are. So with that command, now I'm able to find the serial number of the drive that's failed. And this is kind of handy considering the web interface can't give me this information. Now I can identify the drive. And I can just kind of scroll through here and verify that there were some smart errors that it found. 6 of them. And then it just kind of lists off what those errors are. I'm not savvy enough to know what any of this means. All I care about is whether the drive is good or not personally. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, well, we'll just go get rid of that. With this smartctl command, if you're not running an H310 with the Dell firmware, then the formatting of it may be different. After the -D is basically controller information, how the drives are controlled, and then the /dev/pass with the number. That's the device or the device ID for the hard drive. So whatever your smartctl --scan gives you, that's what you'll put after the -D. I think it should be the same for anyone that's running an H310 with standard firmware, but if it's not, feel free to let me know. I probably won't be able to help you figure out how to pull that information, but it'll help me, I guess, determine what to do with this video if the information that I'm giving is not usable for other use cases. And I will leave a pinned comment with the commands I used under the video. So yeah, hopefully this will be helpful for some other people if you're running a similar config. The first three commands at least should be the same for most people. It's just the variables to show the device information of the failed drive that might change depending on your setup. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Thanks for watching.